thought this would be a good case to start with. It's pretty much a typical story.
How long have you been on the unit?
3 years, give or take. Started back in Newcastle. Only been in this neck of the woods 8 months or so. This is the first time anyone's asked for a ride along.
Well, I see too many domestic abuse cases, either as a GP or a police surgeon. I just wanted to see where the cycle of violence starts, you know? Wouldn't you normally have a female officer with you?
Ideally, but that's not always possible, not with our workload. Besides, Davina Sullivan and I are old friends. Lost count of the number of times she's ended up in casualty. Her husband, Stuart's a brickie, good with his hands. While the bruises are still fresh, Davina's all for pressing charges.
But then she backs down.
But a week ago, Stuart outdid himself. Put Davina into St. Phil's for a couple of nights. Davina, this is Dr. Robinson. He's here to...
They look serious. What's going on?
Oh, I reckon it's Mac's war council. Planning on how he's going to take on Charles Murray.
So he is going to go through with it then?
I think it's great that someone's doing something about poor Dr. Kendrick.
Well, yeah, but isn't it a bit dangerous to bite the hand that feeds you?
What do you mean?
Well, what if Mike messes up? I mean, who do you think it is who approves the budgets to keep this place going?
Charles Murray.
How have you been?
All right.
What about your ribs?
Don't hurt anymore.
I thought you were going to come to the station yesterday.
Don't want to waste your time. Stuart's not living here anymore. Kicked him out.
And how long before you let him move back this time?
But it's going to be different this time. No, I won't.
You have to. You can't hide from the truth. I'm only trying to help you to help yourself.
But Harry and Tasha need their father. You don't know what it's like. How hard it is trying to explain to them why their dad isn't there to take them to school or tuck them in at night.
You could tell him the truth.
Are you mad? Do you not think I already feel rotten enough as it is chucking him out?
Yes, and that's a good first step. Now you have to show Stuart that you're not going to back down this time.
He said he was sorry. He was just stressed.
No, you don't get it, do you?
Sergeant.
As long as you keep forgiving Stuart, he's going to keep beating you. And he's getting more violent with each attack. This time it was bruising and a couple of cracked ribs. What's it going to be next time? A broken arm? Your neck?
Quinn.
Is this how you want your children to remember you?
Hey, that's enough.
Heather?
Julia, I don't have anything to add to what I said over the phone.
Look, I know how difficult this is for you.
No, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come here. If Mr. Murray sees you...
Just see me leave.
I can't tell you anything about Peter Kendrick.
Can't or won't? Well, I'm not going anywhere till I've had some answers.
What was that?
You wanted to see what it's like at the sharp end?
Yes, but I didn't expect to see a police officer bullying the very person he's supposed to be protecting.
Okay, so I lost it for a second.
How can you work on the domestic violence unit if you can't even control your own temper?
Don't you dare judge me. Not when you've only spent a couple of hours in my world, because here, you don't get to leave it all behind when you clock off. No, you get to lie awake, wondering who's getting a beating now. Who's hiding under the stairs, waiting for their beloved husband to roll in from the pub with a belly full of beer, a heart full of bitterness, looking for someone to take it out on.
Have you told someone how you feel?
Who'd understand?
I might.
Look, what just happened then with Davina was a one-off. Just something that's been building up, but I can control it.
I think maybe that's something for your senior officers to decide.
No! I need to do this.
I'm sorry, I can't take that risk. Either you explain to me now what just happened in there, or I'm reporting you for professional misconduct.
Okay. Okay, only, not here.
We've been friends for longer than I care to remember.
Oh, no. Do not bring our friendship into this. This is between Mac and Mr. Murray. It's got nothing to do with you and me.
Of course it has. This affects everyone that works in the health service for the whole of Leatherbridge. Come on, Heather. You work in the heart of the PCT. You must have heard the stories about how Charles Murray is ruining the place.
In an organisation this big, there are always a few gripers. If things are as bad as you say, why aren't more doctors complaining?
Because Mac and Peter Kendrick were the only people that weren't scared of making an enemy out of Charles Murray. Heather, please, if you know anything, anything at all that could help us.
He's my boss.
And what if he contributed to Peter Kendrick's death?
Whatever goes on in this office is confidential. I would have thought you'd understand that.
What if another young doctor cracks under the pressure? How are you going to feel then when you stood by and did nothing to help prevent another tragedy?
Julia, that's low.
Well, thanks to Greg, Justin Webb has instigated an EGM of the PCT, which is tomorrow, PM. And then we do our bit, which is catching Charles Murray unawares, ASAP. And as soon as other business is called, I jump in with an overview of Peter's repeated requests for help from the PCT. Then, Jimmy, you talk about your experiences at Sutton Vale, highlighting the pressure that Peter must have been under. And then finally, you, Ronnie, deliver the coup de grace, which is telling them about Charles Murray's financial mismanagement.
Alleged mismanagement.
Well, we don't want to let him off the hook.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it's not a very big hook.
Are you saying we shouldn't go ahead?
No, I'm just saying that all we have...
Well, you haven't forgotten why we're doing this.
A dedicated young doctor took his own life. Now, don't you think the family he left behind deserve to know why?
Mac, I'm as keen as you are to nail Murray, but you invited me here to give my legal opinion, and that opinion is that all we have is hearsay. It wouldn't be admissible in a court of law. As it stands, there is no hard evidence to link Murray to Peter Kendrick's suicide.
So that's it then, is it? You're just going to go back to work and pretend that none of this has got anything to do with you?
I'm sorry, Julia, but there's nothing I can tell you. You've got 2 minutes.
I've never told anyone about this.
I understand.
I don't want anything getting out. Suddenly everyone on the relief knowing about my private life.
Well, anything you tell me is in total confidence.
I don't even know you.
Maybe that might just make it easier for you. You didn't get these in the line of duty, did you?
We've only been living together for a year. I thought I'd learn how to read the signals, to be able to tell when Siobhan's going to lose it. But this morning, I remember her coming at me, hitting me with something. Then I must have fallen, hit my head or something. When I came to, she'd already gone to work, as if nothing had happened. It's always like that. Like she doesn't even remember doing it.
But you're a big guy. Surely you can defend yourself. You don't, do you? You don't resist her at all.
No.
Have you tried getting help? Why not?
Because I deserve everything I get. Molly always loved water. She was only 6 months old. She was fascinated by it. It's where the light moves. Never thought of having kids before I met Siobhan. She thought being a single mum would put me off, but all it took was one look into Molly's big brown eyes and, well, I've fallen for both of them. I wasn't much help around the house. working too many hours. All Siobhan wanted was one night out, so of course I said I'll look after Molly. I've been through all the excuses. I was exhausted, a cat nap would sort me out. Well, the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the settee. I thought the clock was wrong, 3 hours, but I only closed my eyes for a minute. Molly was always a good sleeper. Put her down and wouldn't hear another peep from her till morning, but I knew something was wrong. I just had this sick feeling. I couldn't get up the stairs quick enough, and she was too still, too cold. She wasn't breathing. There was nothing. I didn't know what to...
Sudden infant death syndrome. We still don't know enough about SRDS, but you suffered a tragedy. This could have happened any time.
But it didn't, did it? She died when I was supposed to be protecting her. If I checked on her earlier, if I hadn't fallen asleep.
I'm sure that had nothing to do with it.
But I'll never know that, will I? Not for sure.
No. But don't you think maybe it's time to try and move on now?
We are trying to get on with our lives. But all it takes is one little thing. The sound of a child laughing in the street. Or like this morning, Siobhan found one of Molly's tiny shoes after we'd tried so carefully to put everything away that would remind us of her.
And now Siobhan's grief turns into anger against you.
I'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We're going to give it our best shot, Mac.
Yeah. Thanks, Ronnie.
Good meeting?
What depends what I mean by good.
Well, I think what you're doing is wonderful, so brave.
Yeah, but is it my fight? I mean, this is between Mac and Charles Murray. They're big boys, they can look after themselves. I'm just a young doctor. I don't want to be in the middle when those two butt heads.
I thought the move down here might do the trick, fresh start, you know. We just brought the pain with us.
You don't have to go through this alone, you know. There's help available for you and Siobhan.
Counselling? I don't know if she's ready.
Well, I could have a word with her if you like.
Would you?
Yeah, of course.
I'd appreciate that. Davina will be picking her kids up from school about now. Her place is on our way back to the station.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
I can't give up on her.
Well, I don't think you should even be on duty.
You'll be there.
Well, yeah, but even so...
Please. I need to do this. Not for me. For Davina and the kids.
Yeah.
Mac, you busy?
No, come in. Sit down.
Thank you. I just wanted a word about this PCT business.
Uh-huh.
Do you really think you have enough to take on Charles Murray?
You think I'm making a mistake?
I'm simply asking if you've thought through the consequences if you get this wrong.
Maybe Julie's right. Maybe you're not the team player that this practice needs.
Excuse me?
You know, I have never demanded blind allegiance from my staff, but this whole situation is quite stressful, and I would be very grateful if you keep your carping to yourself.
Carping? I will have you know, Dr. McGuire, I've never carped in my life. And if this is how you react to a colleague's offer of support, then maybe I don't want to be a member of your team.
No, Elizabeth, wait. I think perhaps we've got our wires crossed.
Then let me spell it out for you. I think Charles Murray is a piece of slime, and you are just the man to flush him down the toilet.
Oh.
I just wish there was something I could do.
I really appreciate your support. I haven't admitted this to anyone, but I'm having my doubts. I mean, about whether I can win this thing.
Then why do...
Oh, hi.
Hi. I've just come from the PCT.
And?
And I called in 20 years' worth of favours from Heather Delaney, and I think we've got what we need.
That colour really suits you. Picks out the colour in your eyes.
Now there speaks a woman with immaculate taste. Maybe next time I go shopping, I'm going to take you with me.
Oh, yeah. Sarah Finch, personal stylist. I like it.
It's a date, then. Miss Stone.
Don't get sucked in, Sarah.
I beg your pardon.
Nick, he's just playing with you.
Well, maybe I like being played with.
It might not be a very good idea to get on the wrong side of certain other doctors here.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Nick and Elizabeth, they got a thing going there in Item.
No. Sure this isn't just an attack of the green-eyed monster, Jimmy?
Look, if you don't believe me, ask Greg. He knows all the gory details.
What, Nick and Elizabeth?
Yep, they're an Item, yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, who in their right mind would get involved with Elizabeth? She's far too much like hard work.
Yeah, well, what bothers me more is I didn't know anything about it, did I?
See ya.
See ya.
Oh, you kept that quiet.
Sorry?
You and Nick, and there was us thinking you weren't mixing enough with the staff.
What have you done?
Hey.
How does George know we've been seeing each other?
George? You told her anything?
Will you share our secret with someone and they're obviously as reliable as a chocolate padlock? You think this is funny?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey. You're the best thing that's happened to me in ages. I had to tell someone.
Oh, great. So now the entire practice knows. Or maybe there's a cleaner who hasn't heard yet.
Is that so bad? I mean, we were going to go public with this sooner or later, so...
Ah, is that the best you can come up with? You betrayed me. I specifically...
Miss Stoneham. Feeling better?
Do not think for 1 minute I am finished with you. Afternoon.
I'm sorry about before. I was totally unprofessional, but you have to believe me, I was only thinking about you and the kids.
You can't be here.
What's wrong?
Stuart's having the kids. He's due any minute.
Then I'll be quick. In and out before he gets here. Just let me say my piece, then if you still want me to go, I will. No argument. This is no way to live, is it? Look at you, like a cat on hot bricks. All Stuart's doing is coming to collect the kids.
You don't understand. You can't.
I understand how every time he hits you deep down, there's a part of you that says, it must be my fault. But you're never going to be free of those feelings until you start to take some control back.
Even if we go ahead, even if Stuart goes to court, he's still going to want access to the kids.
If Stuart's found guilty of assault, the court won't let him have any unsupervised access.
You don't know him. He'll find a way.
Is that why you're so nervous? It's not just about having to see Stuart again, is it?
I'm not sure how much he wants to see the kids, and how much it's just an excuse to get into the house. To get at me.
To hit you.
But I always make sure the kids don't see any of it.
Can you be sure about that?
What do you mean?
Are these your daughters?
Yeah. She's always scribbling away.
And she'd be what, 5, 6?
6, yeah.
So, where are the fairy tale castles? The beautiful princesses. Magical animals.
What happened? Hey, it's all right. Harry, what happened? Go to your room. Now! Yeah, it's all right, sweetheart. Why don't I make you a smoothie? Go wash your face, go on.
He's only copying what he's seen. What he's come to think of as normal behaviour. Boys hit girls.
What have I done? My babies.
It's not too late to prevent this cycle from repeating itself in your kids.
You make it sound so easy.
No. No, it's probably going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, but you don't want Tasha to grow up as a victim. You don't want your son to turn into another abuser.
No. You said you'd be gone.
Hello? Rita? Let me talk to Stuart.
No. No! You'll just make things worse.
Where are you?
Just stay here.
Oh, don't think anyone would be out here. Are you hiding from someone?
No, just staying under Elizabeth's radar till she's chilled out. What about you?
Oh, just needed a bit of space.
Sorry, do you want me to go?
No, no, I interrupted your piece. No.
So what is it? Patient's driving up the wall?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I've got a decision to make. Biggie.
Well, I can relate to that.
I don't know why I'm having doubts. I mean, so what if it didn't work out in the end? You've got to take chances, haven't you?
What you've got to do is imagine waking up in the morning and you're 70 years old. And you're looking at your life, you know, what do you want to see? A full life lived well, or a life blighted with regret? Talking of which, maybe it's time I stopped hiding. See you.
Good luck.
Ah, didn't really think you could avoid me all day, did you?
Why would I want to avoid you?
Well, you won't have to skulk around for much longer.
What do you mean?
Well, Jimmy's back, so we won't be needing you anymore, will we?
Where are the kids?
Upstairs. Look, Stuart, this isn't really a good time.
Not a good time. You trying to tell me I can't even see my own kids?
No, of course not. It's just, if you come back later, I could have the kids all ready to go.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
You're lying. Do you really think you can hide anything from me? Are you messing me around with the kids all the time? Make me look a fool in front of my kids, aren't you, all the time, eh?
Stuart.
Hey?
Calm
Hey?
down.
What the? What's he doing here?
Davina, are you okay?
And who's he?
I'm the doctor. Here, let me have a look.
It's nothing.
What's going on? What are you doing with two men in our house?
Looks like you made a mistake, Stuart. Hitting your wife in front of witnesses.
You were upstairs, you saw nothing, and you know it. She fell over, tripped on the carpet. Tell him, love.
That's not going to work this time.
Davina, tell him what happened.
I fell over.
This is your chance. You can put a stop to this.
I tripped on the carpet.
See? So? You're not wanted here.
How many more beatings do you think she can take, Stuart?
This is family business. My family.
Yeah, a family that you're destroying.
Get out of here. Before I do you for harassment. There she is. There's me little princess. Come on, darling. Come to Daddy. Natasha,
You're scaring her.
come down now.
This has got to stop.
What?
For the kids' sake.
We'll talk about this once we're alone.
No. No, we won't. I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I didn't fall over. Stuart punched me. I want to make a statement.
You stupid.
No, you don't! Stuart Sullivan, I am arresting you for assault.
Davina, don't! You can't do this to me, Davina, please!
You are doing the right thing.
You've done everything you can for them, mate. Now you should be looking after yourself and...
What are you doing here? Did you really think you could plan to move against me without me finding out? But I'm disappointed in you, Mac, sending your wife to do your dirty work. Anything Julia did was on her own initiative. And what are you planning to do with whatever information it is you think she got? Attack me through the press? No. No, you're too decent for that, aren't you? You'd want to come at me face to face. You're going to try something on at the PCT meeting tomorrow, aren't you? And what do you think will happen when the members are asked to choose between us? Who do you think they'll back? The washed-up doctor at the end of his career, or the man who can approve or withdraw vital funding for their practices? Give it up, Mac. The man's dead, and we're all very sorry about that. But how's raking over all this going to help anyone? Knowing the truth might help Peter's family. And it could prevent this happening to some other doctor.
Nice sentiments, Mac. But are they really worth putting another doctor's career in jeopardy?
I think I can survive retiring a few years early.
I'm not talking about you.
What?
Jimmy Clay is going to be your star witness, isn't he?
How did you know?
Forget about the meeting, Mac. You've made your point. Done your duty by Peter Kendrick. But now's the time to be realistic, eh? Except that this is a fight you just can't win.
Next this afternoon on BBC1, Monk has a case that really is close to home, and later the clues are there as BBC2 goes through the keyhole at 3.